We usually think of language as just words. But what if it's actually something more? What if it's like a secret map, a guide to understanding how an entire culture really works? So, how can a language unlock a culture's secrets? That is the big question we're diving into today. We're going to see how the everyday words people use can show us what they truly value, what their history is, and what's most important to them. And to find the answer, let's take a quick trip down to Central America. We're heading to two incredible countries, Panama and Costa Rica. They're right next to each other, but as you'll see, their language paints two very different pictures of the world. Okay, our first stop is Panama. Now, this is a country whose whole identity is built around the idea of connection. It's known all over the globe as the Puente del Mundo, which means the bridge of the world. And this quote here from a local, Maria Elena, just nails it. Her country serves as a bridge. I mean, think about it. It literally connects two continents, North and South America. And of course, its famous canal connects the two biggest oceans on the planet, the Atlantic and the Pacific. It's a crossroads in every sense of the word. So let's get our bearings here. Panama has about 4 million people. And notice the currency. They use both the Balboa and the US dollar. That right there tells you a ton about its deep international ties. And this whole crossroads identity isn't just about business. It's a cultural bridge, too, home to amazing indigenous art like the beautiful mola textiles of the Kuna people. And this number? Wow, over 14,000. That's how many ships pass through the Panama Canal every single year. It's basically a global superhighway for the world economy, and that absolutely shapes the identity of the entire country. But, a country's identity isn't just about massive canals and big numbers. It's built by people and their connections to each other. So to really get what makes Panama tick, we need to zoom in from that giant global bridge to the most important one of all, family. And this is where we meet our guide, Maria Elena, again. Now, at first glance, this just looks like a standard vocab list, right? But these words, madre, padre, abuelo, abuela, they are so much more than just labels. They are the actual building blocks of family, the core unit that is the foundation of Panamanian life. And here is a perfect example of language acting as a cultural map. The tradition of Los Apellidos Hispanos, using two last names, is a bridge in itself. It linguistically connects a child to both their father's and their mother's family lines. It's right there in the name, showing that heritage comes from both sides. It's a linguistic fingerprint of a culture that deeply values connection. All right, let's hop across the border now and head north to Costa Rica. Now, as Panama's identity is about connecting the world, Costa Rica's is really defined by a philosophy of looking inward, and it's all captured in two simple words. Pura vida. You hear this everywhere in Costa Rica. It's hello, it's goodbye, it's the answer to how are you, but the meaning is so much deeper. It's a whole worldview. It's an expression of gratitude for life, a commitment to being peaceful and optimistic. It's the country's soul, all wrapped up in two little words. And you can totally see this Pura Vida philosophy right in the country's stats. Get this, they abolished their army way back in 1948. They decided to put that money into education and healthcare instead. The result? An incredible 98% literacy rate. Their national pride comes from protecting their natural beauty. And this is what that commitment actually looks like. A full quarter of the entire country's land is protected. That's a staggering figure. It's a powerful visual of the Pura Vida ideal in action, a deep, deep respect for nature and for life. So we've seen Panama as this bridge connecting the world, and Costa Rica as this haven of Pura Vida. Now, let's look at a fascinating distinction in the Spanish language itself that helps explain these different ways of seeing things. Think about this for a second. When you say you understand a country, what do you really mean? Is it about knowing facts, like its population, or is it about being familiar with it, having walked its streets and met its people? Well, Spanish actually has two different verbs for this very idea. This is the distinction right here. You've got saber, which is for knowing facts and information. Then you have conocer, which is for knowing people and places through personal experience. The language itself forces you to be specific about how you know something. Let me show you how it works. You would use saber to say you know a fact, like sé la capital de Panamá. I know the capital of Panama. But if you've actually been there, you'd use conocer. Conozco la ciudad de Panamá. I'm familiar with Panama City. One is data, the other is experience. It's a tiny window into a worldview that values both. So, let's bring it all together. What have we learned on this little journey? Well, we've seen that the very structure of a language can reveal what a culture values most. From the way family names in Panama honor both parents, to the whole pura vida philosophy in Costa Rica, to the difference between knowing a fact and knowing a friend, it all proves that language is so much more than grammar. It's a living blueprint of a culture's identity. And that leaves us with one final thought. Every single language, including your own, is packed with these hidden stories and values. The real question is, what maps are just waiting to be discovered in the words you speak every single day?